this is a nightmare to drive. And for some reason, the Gran Turismo, the developers decided, you know what, let's give it more power, because somehow this can receive a new engine swap with update 1.62. Yes, this is a 2015 Ford Mustang GT, and if it wasn't clear to see, it's an absolute handful. Now the thing is, this vehicle with its standard engine fully upgraded, which is what we have here, it produces 832 brake horsepower, which is absolutely no joke. And considering the fact that it is a Mustang, well, as you can see, that rear end is extremely touchy. Like, you gotta really be careful. You cannot poke the bear. You cannot just put your foot to the floor, because that rear end will kick out and you will find yourself facing the wrong direction, and that's not really good if you want to set fast lap times. However, if you're looking for a fun vehicle, this is your answer. You don't need to look further than this Mustang. Now look, the Mustang is extremely affordable. It comes in at 44,310 credits, which is not shabby at all. But obviously, it's a bit touch and go. You have to be so careful when driving this vehicle, and the fact that with 832 brake horsepower, it's still quite difficult to drive. It was quite a shock to me to see that we got such a powerful engine swap. Yes, this is a 351 average GAC Maverick, one of the most powerful cars in Gran Turismo 7, because this vehicle, well, this car's engine standard produces 1,199 brake horsepower. And we're putting this into a Mustang that can't even handle 900. This is just looking for problems, and it's a clear recipe for disaster. Now we see that the weight actually increases a bit more, because now the weight shoots up to 1,280 kgs, but the fact that we are pushing so much more power, and the thing is, the engine still has upgrades. You can still push more power into it, and well, that's exactly what we're gonna do. So this is now the fully upgraded Ford Mustang, well, engine swap Ford Mustang, producing a whopping 1,408 brake horsepower. You wanna see what that looks like? We in third, low gear, foot flats. That is 287 kilometers per hour before I had to step, well, get on the brakes, otherwise I was gonna end up in a wall. But what's actually quite surprising, the vehicle isn't braking traction like it was with the standard engine. Like, I can get on the power and it doesn't feel like it's trying to kill me. This is honestly catching me by surprise, because I really thought I'm not even going to be able to drive this car. Okay, we had a bit of a moment there, but it's so smooth. As long as you're smooth with it, the vehicle will be smooth. The minute it's like this car waits for me to start saying, hey, no, it's not bad, it's actually quite smooth, you don't have to worry about it. When it goes, hey, okay, and it bites. To avoid that, you gotta be super smooth with it, controlled with it, otherwise you're gonna end up backwards or you're gonna end up in a wall, and that's really gonna hurt your lap time. But honestly, talking about lap times, this is not gonna be the easiest vehicle to drive. Obviously, the longer you drive it, the better you will be at it or with it, because it will just give you the ability to set consistent lap times. But right now, out of the gates, I do not see myself setting any consistent lap times, due to the fact of it takes one small mistake, one small skill issue, and you are absolutely gone with the wind. The vehicle is super touchy, and you really have to be careful, because once it hits boost, you better hold on, otherwise that is your days numbered. See, front end lifted, and we're gone. I saw the exact moments when the rear wheel just caught on the grass and it was gone. The chance of you saving a Mustang is so low, and the fact that we set a 1 minute, 2 minute and 1 second lap, the first lap round, and that was with us spinning out, and we spun out again. With my skill level, which look isn't the best, which still amazes me due to the fact of I play this game every day, and I still struggle to get a hold. I still struggle to control this vehicle on the wheel. But we're gonna see, maybe we're gonna switch on over to controller and just see maybe if we can have a better experience. So we're gonna do a transition now and see. Oi. Now you see, when your car gets to a point where it's so powerful and it's so fast that you can't be full throttle, that you can't really be on it, you have to be so careful. It almost takes away the enjoyable factor. It takes away the fact that you can't really push it through every corner due to the fact of you don't know if you'll make it out the other end. And because of that, it's not my favorite engine swap, but I can see how people will absolutely love this, especially if you are a Mustang fan. Then well, you do get the ability to have an extremely fast Mustang. We saw now it just said a 1 minute 35.8, which is a competitive lap time. However, if you are looking for a fun vehicle just to throw around, have a bit of a drift machine, this is it. But now, with it having a Maverick power plant in it, I want to see how fast we can do on a straight line. We are going around Special Route X, but not by ourselves, because we are actually racing against some of the fastest cars in the game. This is the Clubman Cup Plus, which sees us doing a single lap against the literal fastest cars in the game. So we're gonna see how well it does top speed wise against these cars. So we are currently doing 370, 380, 390, 400, 410. We are slipstreaming the RX-7 here, 420, nice. And we are now climbing the hill. Look at that, we are in first place already. But is it gonna stay like that? Obviously I could have removed the massive rear wing to just help us out, but we managed to get it, because with this event your car has to be at 720 performance points. Now luckily I didn't have to detune the car's actual power output, so this is max power, and we're gonna see how well it does. Yeah, and we actually see that RX-7 is closing in right now with ease, no real stress. We managed to get the event done, first place, beating out some of the fastest cars in the game. You saw averaging over 400 kilometers per hour comfortably, and look at that, we beat out the Aventadors, GTRs, Pagani Huayras, the Bugatti Chiron, Dodge Viper. This car is not a slouch at all. Is it one of the fastest engine swaps, however, top speed wise? No. That's still that title still belongs to Chiron swap vehicles, because those cars are absolutely next level. So what we're gonna do now is try and head over to the WTC 700 and see if we can use it for money grinding. We should, but let's just get the seal of approval. So now I managed to just quickly throw in a setup for the WT. So now I quickly just threw in a setup to get it down to 700 performance points. I actually got it on the head, which is just fantastic. So we have racing on tires, downforce in front being 38, 220 in the rear, ECU down at 70, ballast being at 200. However, no ballast positioning, because it actually, I found it to set a low performance for racing, being just with the ballast being where it is, and the power restrictor being at 93. Now we still have the high RPM turbocharger equipped. Oh, I forgot the brakes. Oh no. Never mind, scratch that. So now I managed to get it near the 700 performance points limit. We're running racing on tires, downforce is 36 in the front, 220 in the rear, ECU is set to 70, ballast 200, power restrictor 78, high RPM turbocharger, and well, everything else is upgraded. And we are left with 769 brake horsepower, which should be more than enough to compete with the opponents, and weight wise also we should be on par. The main goal is we need to try and get 3 laps of fuel out of a single tank. So that is the goal, and that's what we're gonna try and do right now with this Mustang. Okay, right, recording. So as you can see, first position with not much fuel remaining, but that does not matter. We managed to complete this event on the hardest difficulty using extreme fuel saving tactics in order to get as much range out as possible. Now I found that I can squeeze 3 laps out of a single tank, but when I tell you the lap times were extremely slow due to the fact of, well, the weather was not on my side. But I think even without the weather playing a role, the car's not that fast, especially where I had it set up, because we set an initial lap time of 4 minutes and 10 seconds, which really isn't fast. And you can see we weren't even that far ahead of the opponents, but it doesn't matter because we still won. So the Maverick Swap Ford Mustang, it's an absolute dead machine, but somehow with it having more power than the standard engine fully upgraded, it actually handles better. I don't know how that works, but regardless, this is actually a very fun engine swap for top speed. If you're looking for just a fun vehicle, this is what you need to go for. If you're looking for a track car that's gonna perform the same way every single time. Stay away from this.